Ladies and gentlemen on YouTube, as well as ladies and gentlemen in the chat room, welcome back to the end of the month subscriber Q&A. This is the time at the end of the month where I turn the chat room into subscriber mode and I take 30 minutes to an hour out of the chat to answer questions, whatever people might ask me. I will be giving a little bit of a warning. I do not put any restrictions on the questions asked, so there might be alpha spoilers for Legion, there might be Illidan novel spoilers, there might be Chronicle spoilers. If you still want to save yourself of those spoilers, then this Q&A is not for you. And let me just say thank you very much for watching so far. I hope to see you next time. And that is my introduction. So ladies and gentlemen of the chat room, hello, hello, hello. Are there any questions that you might have that you want to ask for this Q&A? Or do you want me to toss open the chat room again and just make it open? I can do that as well, just gotta be a little bit busier. You go on. Excellent time is 21:40. Alright. Hey Noble, were there any signs of N'Zoth or other old gods on the Broken Isles? N'Zoth has his roots tied with the Emerald Nightmare. And the Emerald Nightmare is going to be a raid during Legion. So we're going to see Xavius, we're going to see the Dream and the Nightmare. So that is a part where he has his ties in. We're also going to see Queen Azora pop up and her Naga, who are also supposed to be connected to N'Zoth. So in those directions we do see N'Zoth's influence. Will he himself show up? I'm not certain. They did add his image to Hearthstone. So that could definitely be a reason for him to be added to the game as well. The only argument I could make that goes against it is that we haven't seen a Buck evolution as we've seen accompanied with the other old gods. As in, we've seen Kafun together with the Karaji. Oh, did I forget the name again? I think I forgot the name again. We've seen Kafun with his Buck race, we've seen Yashiraj with the Mentit, and we've seen Yaxuran with the Nerubians. And we haven't seen an evolution for N'Zoth upon the Akir. Now, some argue that we have seen a Nightborn evolution, which is true. We have seen the Naga, which is true. But both of them, as far as I can tell, are not an evolution upon the Akir. So my hope is that they're going to save N'Zoth for another day, since there are already so many storylines being developed in Legion. But only time will tell. I feel special. So what is with Jaina? Your heartthrob. She vanished to where? Zissy's asking what happens to Jaina. Jaina's story is still unclear. What we've seen so far in Legion is we have the Broken Shore event on the Alliance, and we have not seen the Horde side yet. So we don't know what's going on the Horde side. What we can tell from the Broken Shore, at least what we can speculate, is Varian dies, and there's a whole bunch of demons showing up, and probably Sylvanas abandons the Alliance to their fates. To this, the Alliance returns to Stormwind Keep, where people like Malfurion and people like Velen and Anduin, they're like, we must band together towards the Legion, we must fight, united, we must not let this separate us. Where people like Greymane and Jaina are like, no, 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 no. We're not gonna work with the Horde. They abandoned us, they betrayed us, we're going to fight back. Now keep in mind, this is just speculation. Again, we haven't seen the Horde side. But Jaina does teleport out of Stormwind, stating that she will never work again with the Horde. And then it's up for interpretation. For some reason, she's kicked out of Dalaran, or she leaves Dalaran. Most likely because Khadgar has no problem working together with the Horde. But she's no longer the leader there. And again, time will tell where and if she's going to show up. Is there anything else I can say about it? Yeah, we also wonder about Kaelik's relationship. Like, how does that work? Because Kaelik is still a member of the Council of Six. Jaina's nowhere to be found. And how does that connect to her prophecy that we read about in the novel War Crimes? No idea. I'm still hoping for her to show up at some point. Hey Noble, are there any lore under Silverhand's Murloc? I'm guessing that the Silverhand Murloc is part of the Hearthstone Whispers of the Old Gods. I'm guessing. If that is the case, then you gotta keep in mind that Whispers of the Old Gods is set in an alternate reality, a what-if situation. What if the Old Gods broke out of their prisons? So I imagine that in that what-if situation, the Murlocs joined the Silverhand. If I'm completely wrong about that, and you have a different question in that regard, then by all means, send it in again. Do you honestly see Illidan as being the super shiny warrior of light as the Naru saw? After I did the novel video, I got a whole bunch of comments about it. And I think this is a good time to dive into it deeper. Some people actually like the idea of Illidan as this warrior of light. And I personally don't have that much of an issue with Illidan being empowered by the light. It's not a massive issue. Like I said in the video as well, it makes as much sense as a undead priest or a holy dreadlord. And both of those have been introduced to Warcraft. Both of those have been given their own spin. So in that regard, it's not such a big deal. My major problem with Illidan as this redemption story, as this holy being, is that it's so very, very similar to a previously established storyline that I don't want to spoil right now. But those of you out there, you probably know what I'm talking about. That said, do I ever see Illidan as this warrior of light? It could be a metaphor. It could be as in, you are going to be a champion of light. Just the whole, you are empowered and glowing and you got a halo above your head. That might be an exaggeration. Or, it could be that way. And we're going to see Goku Illidan. I don't know. I don't know if I would be against it to see a Goku Illidan. It could definitely be done in a very cool way. It doesn't necessarily have to be all rainbow and happiness and sunshine just because you're wielding the light. I think Illidan could definitely turn it into a badass thing. But again, all we have to work with is a vision. And that's about all I have to say. We'll see how the vision is gonna play out, if it's ever gonna play out. How pumped are you to see the Broken Shore cinematic? Extremely pumped, man, for all the cinematics. I can't wait for those to be finally added. In a game of chess, who would win? Gallywix or Galbin? Gallywix, because he would cheat. In Legion Alpha, does the Dreadlords that we know from Wrath and Warcraft 3 make an appearance in Legion other than Balnazar? I believe all of them show up. I believe that all of them show up. I have seen several Dreadlords. I'm thinking if we've seen Mal'Ganis somewhere, but I think Mal'Ganis was actually part of the demon group on the Broken Shore. But I'm not entirely sure. But what I am sure about is that pretty much every demon that we faced in the past is making a return. Including, and a prime example is what we just checked out. There was this Dreadlord from the Blasted Lands questlines where the Demon Hunter actually sacrificed himself. And he was like, I will keep fighting him in the afterlife. That one also made a return. So I think we can be pretty safe that every demon, Jurexus and all that, is gonna make a return. Oh god, arise one question. If every human in the world would collectively suddenly stop sneezing, how long would it take before someone would notice? You notice someone not sneezing, but how often do you really notice someone not sneezing? Your thoughts on this subject is valuable. Riseborn, I think if we would all collectively stop sneezing, then one day, a person on the internet would raise the question, has anybody sneezed lately? And with the open world communication that we have it as today, that would spread like wildfire. And people would start experimenting, they would start snorting pepper, they would start itching their noses in order to accomplish a sneeze, because that would be YouTube money. Unfortunately, nobody could. And then people would ask, why has our sneeze abandoned us? What has happened? Why does no longer our nose find it necessary to, you know, give us the validation of a sneeze? And of course then the philosophical questions happen, movements happen, world riots will take place, blaming one for the other. And then everybody will kill each other, because we can no longer sneeze. And that is my thoughts on the subject. I hope they are valuable. Can you resurrect a Death Knight more than once? Yes. As we have seen in Icecrown Citadel, if you remember the part just before the Green Dragon, you face off against... I'm trying to remember if that was a vampire or a Valkyr. Either way, she's like, you brought me my reinforcements, Crumb! And then they get back to life. So yes, you can. Please explain in a nutshell how goblins can be priests, use the light, if there's any lore behind it. There was profit to be made, and the goblins did everything in their power in order to get that profit, so they started wielding the light. The light responds to conviction, and in this case their conviction comes from their desire of making profits. Now you might say, is that really the answer? I would have to Wowpedia, to be honest, to see if there's an actual explanation, but, you know, that's the same as it works for shamanism, so I'm pretty damn sure that it was for making profit. For more details, check out my story of the light in World of Warcraft. After the information given by the Chronicles, does Sargeras still have the noble goal that he had before he embraced the Fel energies? What noble goal was that, Dr. Lulla? Do you mean the response that some had when I did that video? Like, I saw some mention that Sargeras wasn't such a bad guy because he tried to destroy the universe to save it from the void. But from our point of view, the people that want to survive, he's still such a bad guy as he was before they gave him the void motivation. So is his goal noble? Kinda depends on the way you look at it, I suppose. But from our perspective, unless you're a Doomsayer in Stormwind, I don't think his goals are that noble. But have they changed once he embraced the Fel energies? No. No, he just... I think that was just a way for him to be beyond comprehension. Like, beyond reasoning at that point. It's like, he shattered the planet, he made his legion, he is now Sargeras the Destroyer, and he's no longer this noble titan of the Pantheon. Hey Noble, with the invasion of the Legion and every boss of the first 2 raids being none of those summoned on the Broken Shore, do you think there will be a demon-only raid, including big names like Jeraxus and the Adadar twins? Ooh, good question, Lunar. Good question, and I think it falls down to what exactly goes down on the Broken Shore. Because, as you might have seen with the Broken Shore event, it cuts off just before that mighty demonic army attacks. And then we wake up on the sickbed somewhere. So, perhaps Varian goes all nuts and kills every single demon there single-handedly. Perhaps some sort of spell is used. Perhaps those demons summoned on the Isles are wiped out. And we just barely get out of there. Or perhaps they do survive and they now roam across the land and we need to take them out as world quest or part of the introduction invasion or part of the raid. Time will tell. I should really put that on a shirt, shouldn't I? Time will tell. What's the story behind the new dragons on the Broken Isles? Do you mean the storm dragons or the blue dragons? For the blue dragons, that is a dying remnant of the blue dragonflight that made their way to Azuna. And there they're slowly dying. The exiled Nightborn are messing about with the arcane magics in the area, which Granddad doesn't like. We team up with them, we take care of those exiled, and we help out the blue dragonflights. If you mean the storm dragons, apparently they've always been there, just never really discovered by us, but I would have to look it up again. But I think that was the story behind them in a nutshell. I think Jaina is a Dreadlord. She dips out of the storm wind right before the Legion attacks. The guards turn into Dreadlords and they try to kill you. Maybe. Jaina's a little kid. I hope she dies in the following patch. Where you go to sleep at night? Do you ever wonder if it's actually you waking up the morning after, or is an alternative or a clone to you? I mean, considering that I have the same memories as the day before, considering that my outside influence haven't changed, I'm gonna go with the idea that the person that went to sleep is the same person, the person that woke up is the same person that went to sleep. After the information given by the Chronicles, does Sargeras... Oh, we did that one. Think shit could hit the fan to the level of War of the Ancients? Definitely. Definitely, that would be really cool. Like, that's what took it last time, right? To take care of the Legion. Like the Well of Eternity imploding on itself. We've already seen a fair few deaths, but maybe the worst is still ahead of us. Could be really cool. So, Almighty Lore Master, what are your thoughts on Azora as a raid boss in Legion if it happens? If it happens, it could be pretty sweet, but again, I really hope that they're gonna save Azora and that whole Naga storyline for another day, for another expansion, because there are already so many bosses and potential that they could go with. I would much rather leave Azeroth behind for the expansion as we go into outer space. And we actually explore the denizens of the Great Dark Beyond, and we actually take the battle to kill Jaden on Argus. In the meantime, as we are gone and we take the battle to the Legion, Azora and her minions, they rise up from the oceans down below, and they take over the mainland, leading to us being introduced into the next expansion in which they have taken care, or at least they have conquered Azeroth, and we need to deal with the old gods that are broken free. That would make a really cool expansion in my opinion. But we'll see. Could very well be that Azshara is also going to be a boss in Legion. We shall see. And Grendalaffen, thank you very much for subscribing. Be welcome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. What do we know about Azshara? Who's writing her checks nowadays? Just how strong is she now? What do we know about Azshara? Not much. The last time that we got any solid information on her was with the War of the Ancients trilogy, in which back in the day it was still described as the three old gods that offered her the deal and transformed her. But it seems like now it's N'Zoth, because N'Zoth has been set beneath the waves. We've got the whole underwater zone in the Cataclysm. And all of that definitely seems to point towards N'Zoth being behind the Naga. Besides that, it's an interesting notion that the... Wow, I sound fancy tonight. It's such an interesting notion. It's interesting to me that the old gods still team up with the Legion. Even though the Chronicles describe Sargeras as this uber boss that can just, you know, draw his sword and split the planet in two and wreck the planet in half and take care of these old gods. Yet the old gods don't really seem to care, as we've seen with Azshara and her Naga teaming up with the Legion and trying to make that happen. So that's interesting. Are the old gods foolish enough to believe that they are powerful enough to take on Sargeras and the Legion? Certain sources describe it that way. I guess someone should give them a part of the Chronicles. And just how strong is she now? Back during the War of the Ancients, she was described as on par with Archimonde and Sargeras, or at least in that direction. Now she's empowered as well by an old god, and she's in her Naga form. She's freakishly powerful. Definitely. I would put her up there with Archimonde for sure. And Kil'jaeden fully powered, yeah. Holy Illidan, why not make Velen a warlock then, Kappa? Don't say it too loud. They'll pick it up. Hello YouTube, my question is this. Noble Senpai, do you think that there are any more important characters who could join the Legion or actually be a Dreadlord? Jaina jokes aside. Do I think that there are any more important characters that could join the Legion? That really stick out? I mean, one name that pops in mind is Wilfred Fizzlebang. No, no, not Wilfred. The other guy. You know what I'm talking about. He has like his wife in the prison. What are you called? It's easier to look this up. Manastorm, there we go. I would suspect Manastorm to join with the Legion, but that is one of the one of the characters that I imagine joining the Legion. Besides that, it's Warcraft and anything goes, to be honest. Like hell, for all we know, we will see a darker Velen that finally joins the Legion, or we will see a darker Anduin. It seems unrealistic, but you know, anything goes. Do you think Malfurion or Tyrande will ever admit that they were wrong about Illidan? I would love to see that. I would really like to see that, because, you know, they kind of screwed Illidan over. But who knows. Do you think Illidan saw Sylvanas? Could she be getting a redemption, becoming a Valkyr and returning from the dead? Like these questions, could this happen? Could these people join the Legion? Could this happen or that happen? I don't know. I can't predict the future, unfortunately. But, you know, like I said, anything goes in that regard. You can say that the Flying Spaghetti Monster is gonna show up, and you will be as right as I am. It's incredibly difficult to predict the future. So will Sylvanas become a Holy Valkyrie and return from the dead? Maybe. Could be a cool redemption story. Or maybe she will embrace the fate that was predicted for her, and she is going to join Arthas in Hell by sacrificing herself for her people. Maybe. Alright, now we won't have any Night Elf camera horse dancing naked in front of it. That's much better. Do elves grow up at the same rate as humans and just live a lot longer, or do they age slower? Right now, I would say that they age the same way as humans do, but before that time, they were immortal. And as Illidan said, Tyrande hadn't aged today. You know, she looked the same in his memories. So before that time, they didn't really age the same way as humans did. They just, you know, they grew up, and then it took a very long time to grow any older. Whereas Tirana has now been described as time is taking her toll on her. You can see like little wrinkles on her eyes and all that. So right now they are aging. How old will a night elf become? Impossible to say. Literally every past demon appears at the end of the Broken Shore scenario. Pretty much, yeah. Can you tell something about the connection between shamans and the elements? What do you want me to talk about, Sharanka? It's a little bit too broad, matey. When they bring back the original game, with a simple PC, we'll be able to play WoW, Global WoW. Alright. Is Lillidan a demon, or is he still a night elf? More demon than night elf. Would you ever consider doing lore snippets? Like once a week or something, make a short video about a small number of minor characters that don't qualify for a full video or series of videos, but still have interesting storylines. That's pretty much what I do with the Q&As, Elijah. Like with the Q&As, I answer questions that don't really warrant a big storyline. Like in the last Q&A, I did the story of Sunwalker Desco. As well as the Hearthstone videos. They are perfect subject for that as well. That's why I love doing the Hearthstone videos. Like some people say, the Hearthstone series has become very trollish, as in Story of the Coins and all that. But I still enjoy doing the Story of the Coin. I still enjoyed thinking about what exactly is the coin worth in the Warcraft lore, and what exactly did it do, and how do you make it relatable to the overall storyline. I love working on videos like that. Like if there's really no storyline, like the storyline of, what would you call it? The Mysterious Challenger, then I'll use it for a I'll use it for an April Fool's video. Like that one truly had no story to talk about. But besides that, I'm all for it. Glad I caught you before your Q&A ended. Here's my question. If it is so impossible to defeat Sargeras, then how do races of Azeroth have any hope of defeating the Burning Legion? Or are we just doomed to continue pushing them back for all eternity? Like really, dude? Fucking hell. Hang on. Not that one. That one. There we go. Let's see. Is it impossible to defeat Sargeras? Not really. He's just extremely, extremely powerful. So do Race of Azeroth have any hope of defeating the Burning Legion? Kinda. Like the Naru believes in Illidan, and it's going to take a lot out of us, but nothing's impossible to defeat. It's just going to take a lot. And I think that that's the storyline that they're going with. We, the Children of the Titans, have been infused by the Titan spirit inside of the planet. So we are something that not even the Titans themselves or the Titan Keepers could have predicted. Something also stated by Elgalon the Observer. So we are something special in that regard. And I think that we're going to prove Sargeras wrong. I think we're going to show him that a old god infused planet can produce more than just, you know, death and destruction to the universe. It can produce some of the hardened warriors that the universe have ever seen. Will we ever take care of Sargeras, or will we convert him, or will we empower him? Again, only time will tell. But I think that we are definitely going to take some major steps against the Legion. As we've seen with the introduction event, we are taking some major blows as well. But we are finally going to take the battle to the Legion, and we're finally going to do some more damage there. How do I use the Noble emotes? Get better Twitch TV, and you'll actually get a window. And you'll be able to get, like, all the emotes. Is there anything not in the Illidan book you would like or like to have seen? There was, actually. I would have loved to see more about Kil'Thuz. I would have loved to see more into Kil'Thuz's mind. Like, how exactly and when exactly did he join the Legion, and how did that go down? That could have been really cool. Besides that, I still wonder what went down with the story development between Maiev of the Illidan novel, the Maiev to see in Wolfheart, and Maiev in Legion. There seems to be some sort of disconnection there. So I'm still curious how they're gonna explain that. And I would have loved to see what Illidan was actually planning to do with the little mini Well of Eternity that was created, as we've seen during the Greenfire questline. And why he didn't give that to the Blood Elves. Like, that seemed the perfect way of getting them back to his side. Besides that, as I was working on the Illidan novel video, I remembered the portal that Kenravad used in order to travel and get his powers. I wonder if Kenravad actually got access to the portal that Illidan established, and that portal led him to Argus, but I couldn't find anything confirming or denying that, so I kinda left it out. And Nettie1 with the 10 months in a row. Thank you so very, very much, Nettie. That is very, very kind of you. Foolish crocodile, you brought my reinforcements with you. Do you think that there's any chance that Sylvanas Windrunner could bring back Varian Rin as an undead? As an undead, I'm not sure, King Rocky. I think that would paint a big target on her back. Like, you know, she wants to survive, and pissing off the Alliance like that is not the best way to do it. But like I said, anything in theory is possible. What are my thoughts on Azora as a raid boss in Legion if it happens? I talked about that one earlier. Do you think that Jaina could possibly be the next Lich King? She is pissed off on Horde and probably the Alliance at Khadgar too. Maybe she will make her way to Icecrown like Arthas, kill Bolvar and claim the crown for her own. Again, nothing's impossible. Jaina has had a nightmare in which she was the one picking up Frostborn and becoming the Lich Queen. But would she ever do it? I don't think Jaina would be foolish enough to take that step and you know, fall under control of the Lich King like that. The Lich King almost seems like its own entity. And then there is the Spirit of Bolvar. I don't think Jaina would be foolish enough to do that. Not to mention that killing Bolvar, it sounds easy enough, but I wouldn't count Bolvar out that easily. So I don't think she would take that decision, but never say never. There we go. If Blizzard could tie the loose ends, would you like for Medan to join the game in some way? Since if he is canon, won't this expansion be perfect for him? Since Guardians are the anti-Legion police. Would you like to join Medan? If they do it, then they would have to explain how the hell Khadgar got his hands on a Tish and why Khadgar acts and walks and talks like the Guardian. There still needs to be an explanation for that, because last time we saw a Tish, it was in the hands of Medan. So they would have to explain that. They would have to explain the transfer of the weapon. So it's pretty damn difficult to get Medan into the storyline like that. Would I like to see Medan added to the storyline? I mean, we've been going on for so long now without Medan in the storyline. Is he really needed? I don't think so. Like, what would he add that Khadgar couldn't add to the storyline? Besides an incredibly over-the-top powerful character that not a lot of people like. So yeah. Which power does Sylvanas search for in Stormheim? It seems like Sylvanas is looking for the power of the Valkyr, as in the power to resurrect more undead. But I say it seems like it because it's not entirely clear yet. We see her try to absorb the powers of a... I think it's a Titan Keeper called Ayer. Although she could also be classified as something else. She tries to absorb those powers. But then Greymane shows up and he prevents her from doing so. But I think it all comes down to, as she says in the introduction, in that speech, she says like the Forsaken can't reproduce. And, you know, she doesn't want things to end like that. It seems like she's going for that, as well as making some deals with Helia. Like, who knows what she's trying to do there. If Jaina died, that would be following a recurring trend with Kaylik's love interest. Yup. But if Kaylik goes to the dark side, that would be Jaina's reoccurring trend. If the world soul that lives within Azeroth is the strongest that has been found by the Pantheon, what would happen to our world if she awakens and the after effects? Your thoughts on this would be valuable. My thoughts are so valuable, mate. I talked about this in the latest Q&A as well. And in that Q&A I said that we don't know for certain what happens when a Titan soul wakes up. Does the planet open up like an egg? Does the spirit get out of the planet without destroying it? Or does something else happen? To this I got a lot of comments in which people said that the chronicles were pretty clear about it, that the Titans' bodies were described as planets, that when a Titan soul wakes up, it wakes up as the planet itself. But I don't agree that it is that clear. It does seem very hinted, but I'm just looking for an outright statement like, yeah, when a Titan spirit wakes up, the planet is doomed and the Titans are assholes for imbuing it with life because that life is gone now. So I'm still not entirely sure about that. So I hope those are valuable thoughts for you. Space, space, space! And as a Lich King, she would be more powerful than anyone on Azeroth. Maybe. Would be cool though. If 420 Blazed is a common time to smoke, why isn't high noon a thing? Jesus, Riceport. Hey Noble, how is there animals such as pigs and birds on both Draenor and Azeroth? Do they have a common ancestor or what? I believe somebody asked us that as well during BlizzCon and they gave like a common answer. I don't have a clear answer for you. If I would go in the speculative term, there were some hints during Warlords of Draenor that Draenor itself was also shaped by the Titans. To which you could say that if the Titans placed the stones for pigs and birds on Azeroth, then why not do it on Draenor? Like if it works on one planet, why not on the other one? Besides that, some things we shouldn't just go too deep into when it comes to the lore. Like some things are just, you know, they're birds. Can Naga become undead? Who would win between the Lich King and Azora? Can Naga become undead? Have we ever seen Undead Naga? I don't remember ever seeing Undead Naga, so for that one is unclear. I assume so. I don't really see a reason why not, but I don't have an example. Who would win between the Lich King and Azora? Who would win between the Lich King and Azora? I would give it to Azora, to be honest, because she's just that much more powerful of a spellcaster. But very difficult to say. Unfortunately, I need to work tomorrow with some open house. Hopefully I get some time to work more, and that's something for Noble. Alright. Mailhouse Manastorm, yep. Vol'jin Dreadlord, Mailhouse, Manastorm, Hut Nude Elf dancing in front of the camera. Hi Noble, do you think that any of the Order Hall campaign quests are so influential to the overall lore that they might be picked up later on in the game? Or are they just mini stories for class fantasy? As far as I've seen so far, they are mini stories for class fantasy. But at the same time, they are also working towards building up an army to fight against the Legion. For example, the Shaman Order Hall questline is all about bringing about new elemental lords and uniting them. Whereas the Death Knight Order Hall campaign is about bringing about the Horsemen and have them help out. How epic would it be if, near the end of it all, you would see these Order Halls all come together? All these armies that we worked on building all come together in this epic scenario where you team up with Shamans and Paladins and Death Knights and all of you have your little own groups to interact with. You as the High Lord or the Death Lord or the Uber Savior of the world, you get to send them off and tell them to do different things on the battlefield. While you and your party, you go straight for Kill Jaden, right? Kill Jaden is right there, your parties are fighting all over the place. That would be really, really epic, but, you know, I almost dare not to dream of it. We'll see. We'll see. Will Broxigar make a return in Legion? Unknown? I sure hope not. I think Broxigar's story is perfect the way it is. Let the man stay dead, or the orc. Let it be done. Do you think that we will ever see Rephion again? Some people that didn't do the legendary questline Miss Pandaria don't even know who he is without looking it up. I hope so. Like they removed him from High Mountain. Which I still don't really understand why. If it was a time thing, then magic could have been a very good explanation. I don't really know why they removed him. Will he ever make a return? I hope so. I mean, we got more Dragon Eggs now, so Return of the Black Dragonflight? That would be cool. Lately, a lot of special flavors for the artifacts have been popping up, like the Ashbringer turning demons into ash, Frost Decays freezing the ground, Warriors getting a second chance before death. What sort of artifact flavor would you really like to see introduced? Ooh, what kind of artifact flavor would I really like to see introduced? Good question. Do I have any wishes in that regard? Staff of Sargeras just destroying the entire area. Like, oh yeah, that's what I would like to see. You know this toy that makes it look like the world has been conquered by the Legion? How cool would it be if the Staff of Sargeras, or the Scepter of Sargeras, has a similar option where it looks like the entire world is destroyed. And you get like this little mini buff, stating, uh-oh, you kinda dabbled with too much power there. And then, uh-oh, it was only imaginary. Hey, why am I black and white? Well, why is this? I'm black and white. What the hell? What the hell? Oh no! I'm stuck in time now. I'm no longer part of it all. But that would be cool. I'm hoping that when we face off against Kil'jaeden, that Illidan will be there and will just be hacking away the bastard with all kinds of emotional angry voice acting with reference to Warcraft 3 taking place, the fight being Sinestro from Bastion of Twilight style, Illidan playing the part of Kalen. Alrighty. Good night, peeps. Gotta work from 8 AM. Ooh, Buxney, good luck. Did you see the DK questline? There was some lore there that I know you were waiting to see. I did, and I'm hoping that they're still gonna update it, only Shadowkin. When I did the DK questline, the whole liberation of the Blood Elf Death Knight, Visarion, and Koltera, that really needs some work, as well as summoning Nazgrim. Besides that, oh, it was so cool. So cool. Being a baker kinda sucks with the hours, I'd imagine so. What is your favorite artifact so far? Aesthetically? Ooh, which one did I think was the prettiest? I mean, I love the Ashbringer. Even though everybody's gonna get an Ashbringer. I mean, look at it, it's freaking sexy. Sexy right there. It's the Ashbringer, yo. It's the legendary blade. Look at it. Just look at it. So the Ashbringer is definitely beautiful, but the Marksmanship Hunter also pops into mind. Because they get the quiver back. Like, even if it's only aesthetically, it's still nice to have a quiver back on your back. So I like that. After learning how weakened Illidan was during the Siege of the Black Temple from his numerous spells and the Soul Siphon, do you think he would have been defeated had he been at his normal strength? No. I think that's the part that they were going with. And part of the reason why they had to give him a little bit of a power up in that regard is because we're going to face off against so many mighty people. And you might wonder, like, we were level 70 back then and we were able to defeat him. Like, what the hell? Why do we even need him? But now we know that he was severely drained of his powers. He could have probably kicked the crap out of us. Probably. Do you think that you will play more Overwatch on stream, or maybe even attempt to do some lore videos on it after release? Will I be playing Overwatch? Yeah. Maybe not as much as I have in the past, but I'll be definitely picking it up here and there. Overwatch is just great fun to pick up with friends, and I can't wait for everybody to get in there. Will I do lore videos on it? I mean, I would love to, but I simply do not have the time in my schedule anymore to take on any new projects. Like, I'm booked, man. I'm booked. So no. Don't think so. Never say never, but at least not in the near future. Do you think we will fail the mission of defeating the Legion? Bliss made pictures of a fallen Azeroth when they first talked about Legion. I don't think we'll fail. I think the initial defeat is definitely gonna hurt. And the Legion spreading over Azeroth at the initial launch is something that I've been waiting to see for a very long time. Us actually losing ground. But I think in the end, we will seal the rift at the Tomb of Sargeras. We will take the battle to the Legion on Argus. We will go there and we will kick the crap out of him. Maybe even take down a fully powered Kil'jaeden. Something in that regard. So I don't think that Azeroth will be destroyed by the Legion, but it's definitely going to take some severe hits. And then, like I talked about earlier, Naga rising from the ocean and taking use of the opportunity of people being away and people being at Argus. That could make for a next expansion or even a big-ass patch. That could be fun. The Maiev Illidan shipment, right? If they release the original game, it will benefit low income, third world, whatever. We get to talk to these people and they have access to our world. Wow, breaking the barriers. I'm not sure what you're mentioning there, Zizzy. Release the original game. What do you mean, mate? Just trying to help him out. Had to restart my browser. I will go down with my ship of Jaina and Kalik. Both of them need some happiness, right? All I would like to have known too. Excellent. Probably not king. Do we know if all dragons are sterile or just a certain gender? All dragons in general, as confirmed by Granddad in Azuna. He just mentioned like dragons can no longer reproduce both sides. I think in Azuna we learned... Yeah, there you go. One last question from me. Can you do a just subbed thing for me? I subbed during this Q&A. Ladies and gentlemen, Grendeloffen just subscribed. Grendeloffen, thank you very much for subscribing, matey. Be welcome! And I hope you're enjoying the stream. My name means Grendel, some sort of Norse demon and some sort of bread. Yum yum. What weapon does Bolvar have? His wits and probably telepathic powers. His hands. Does he have a weapon? I don't think so. He keeps giving his weapons away, man. So I don't think so. Look at that, by the way. You have an Ashbringer, and you get an Ashbringer. Everybody has an Ashbringer. Beautiful. He has a frozen bone. Wow. Wow. Khadgar is Medivh. It's explained in the Karazhan scenario. Did I miss out on that one, Artemis? What? Will Legion have phased quests, like in Wrath Lich King? As in, you do quest lines to go through the zones? Will they have phased quests? I think so. There are some phased zones. Yeah, Suramar, especially when it comes to unlocking that man cave that we've seen. That is all partially phased. She was the Valkyr maker, wasn't she? Aer? Aer, yep. Aeonar likes to make all the same animals. Who would win in a fight? Ferrandis or Azara? I mean, Azuna looks pretty close. Almost, Trying to get it right. I await the final outcome. You and me both, Sissy. Azara would fuck up the Lich King. But I really hate who Azara is. Back in the War of the Ancients, he was stronger than Manoroth, so... What would be the perfect end for Illidan? The whole Holy Vision and standing against the Void, or sacrificing himself to save some Sargeras in the Legion or the Void? What would you like to happen? For me, Dr. Lulla, even though some in the comment section said that the whole sacrifice yourself is a little bit of a cliche, I just can't imagine Illidan being around for that long. Yet at the same time, we do have a vision from the Illidan novel describing him leading the army of light against darkness, so it seems like he is going to stick around longer if that vision comes true. Just for me, I think you would end up in the same situation as you do with the alternates on Alternate Draenor, like Gromash, for example. I think part of the reason why they leave these alternates on Alternate Draenor is because it would be weird to have Gromash walking around in the story again. You might wonder, like, why didn't they let Gromash die in the expansion? Good question, I don't know. Maybe because they cut it out or something, or maybe... I don't know! Ask Blizzard that, but still, it would feel weird to have them back into the storyline. So, for me, Illidan sacrificing himself to hold off, like, the coming of Sargeras, that would be pretty epic. Or to take down a fully powered Kill Jaden, that would be a grand farewell to Illidan. But some might really like to see him stick around and lead the Demon Hunters in Illidari, build up a bigger army. It could very well lead into the next expansion where they're gonna unlock the Demon Hunters for more races, if they're gonna do that. It would be damn handy to have Illidan around for that. But we'll see. You as the taco lord send out your mighty minions at taco vendors. Huh. Azara is all-powerful right now. I strongly feel that if Sargeras came to Azeroth right now, she'd either make love to him or wipe his sorry butt. Who's Sargeras-senpai? Ferrander's already dead, so it can hardly get worse. He could be cursed and dead. What was your most disliked story in Legion? The confirmation, even though it was already known. The confirmation that The dragons truly can no longer reproduce. Like before that moment, it was just hinted at in Dawn of the Aspects. It was said on Twitter, but it never made it into the game. And now with Granddad confirming it, it is now officially part of the game. That's probably my least favorite moment, but I can't really attribute that to Legion. It's been known since the end of the Cataclysm. So yeah. Of that army as epic as outside of the Wrathgate cinematic, right? Keep dumping stuff like Rephion and shit in game up. Undead Noble, you bugged it. Coltera, Broxigar was listed in the alpha files long ago. Yeah, but keep in mind that not everything datamine is used, eh? Did I ever play Darksiders? Isn't that the game that's very much like Zelda? I think I played Darksiders 1. That's with the 4 horsemen, isn't it? Yeah, I love 1. Just 2 I was not really able to get into. Holy Paladin Librams. Pretty quiver. What is the silliest thing you've ever done to impress a woman? When I was younger, Riseborn, when I was a young lad, I was sitting outside with a group of friends. We'd been drinking, we were sitting at the beach, and one of my mates decided to make a lady friend cry, and in order to comfort her, I heroically leaped into this pit that people have made. There's like this pit where you can sit around for the tourists and all that. Only in daytime I would have realized that this pit was pretty deep, but my drunk ass in the dark didn't. So when I made that epic leap, I actually went through my ankle. And I just shrugged it off. I just walked it off. I was like, oh, you know, I'm drunk, you know, who feels pain anyways? And now I still have an injury there. Like if I put too much strain on it, I still feel it, and I'm remembered of that horrible, horrible day. Is there an artifact which seems more powerful than the others? Well, gameplay-wise, no. But if we're gonna go by story, I mean, Scepter of Sargeras is pretty damn powerful. Demonic Breath, Grandpa, best part of all, my hands are weapons too. Why the fuck are you grey from this perspective? Magic. Weapons of self-destruction. Not sure if it's in the alpha files. Ah, okay. Who is the temporary representative of the trolls? While Vol'jin is missing in action, Rokan? I don't think they've appointed anyone yet. And consider that it took them this long to get Sourfang up in there, it might be a while until that is picked. Damn, time flies. I think Illidan's on our side at the end. Oh, yeah, they got like the... I can't imagine them bringing back Illidan without him being on our side. It might be that he's corrupted at the start. It might be that it's gonna take some time or convincing for him to get back. But in the end, he's definitely coming back. Whose visions should we trust? Denaru from the Illidan novel or Velen? Both see a different person who will lead the Legion of Light. Why not both? Like, why not have 2 leaders leading the Army of Light? Like, if I would have to go with the established story, like what is realistic right now, I would put my money on Illidan leading the Army of Light. Like Anduin in Armor of a Paladin and all that. Not only is it the oldest prophecy, like it could very well be that they've chosen a different path when it comes to the direction. But I will put my money on Illidan, to be honest. Not to mention that it's an Elder Naru. I mean, Elder Naru are always better than a regular Naru, right? Right? He has a name, you know. He's Granddad. I mean, whip his butt. We need a poll as to how many are looking forward to or going to see the film. I'm guessing a lot. It's Granddad, right? With Ysera's physical body gone, do you think that she will return in the Emerald Dream, or will we be mourning her in our dreams? Ysera? Now, unfortunately, I haven't seen all the raid testing when it comes to Xavier's. But if we look at Xavier's Dungeon Journal... where was that again? Defeats Dark. There was something about Ysera's dream up in here. Where did it go? Manifest, dreams, I thought there was something here describing Ysera. Anyways, what I saw during the raid testing is that, like, the dream of Ysera shows up, or image of Ysera, and it helps you actually fight against Xavier's. So I think it's pretty safe to say that some form of Ysera is still connected to the Emerald Dream. Does that mean that... oh! Luckily for the players, an echo of Ysera remains aware in the Emerald Dream. Does that mean that she can still come back? Maybe. But I'm doubting that they'll keep her back in. Poor Ysera. Poor Ysera. What do you think of Bolvar will do in Legion? Will he be a damn badass, or will he sit on his cold throne and do jack shit? Except for the DK storyline, of course. I would love to see Bolvar, wow. Somebody actually spat on me? Alright. I'll spit on you too, buddy. I would love to see Bolvar actually get off his ass and join in the fight. But, you know, I doubt it's gonna happen. It would be so cool, though. Can you imagine Bolvar on the battlefield? Like, fucking flames and ice and leading that army? Like, Scourge following behind him would be great, but I think his role is going to be through the Death Knights. Through giving them the quest lines and the weapons to fight in his name. So, yeah. He's almost caught up. Quickly, Riseborn, I choose you! What is the lore behind the Night Elf with hoof and antlers? Artemis, I already said, matey, I have no idea for you. I wish I could tell you, but I have no idea. Well, bring a woman or a man close to ecstasy. Would you rather she or he would shout out your real name or noble? You know I have small children watching these Q&As as well, right, Riseborn? You know I got like, I don't know, 10-year-olds, 8-year-olds. I got like parents with their children on their laps. Can you imagine them watching the Q&A and be like, oh, this is a nice Q&A. We're talking about Ysera, we're talking about some dreams. In comes this question. What name would you rather hear shouted out when somebody is close to ecstasy? Would it rather be your real name or noble? What the fuck? Anyways, it's definitely Fabio. Just in general, I want them to say Fabio. Reading the prequel novel and Brotherhood of Light. Me too, man. Give me all that lore. I have a very serious question. It's very important that you described all of your knowledge about it. How do the Protoss make babies? Oh god, not again. Not again. And ladies and gentlemen, Rubbermate just subscribed. Rubbermate, thank you very much for subscribing, matey. Be welcome! Hope you're enjoying the stream. How much are you looking forward to that belly button in the children's book? What? Oh, wasn't that one of the pictures that they showed with the new Lore of the Adventure that they're doing for kids? They were like, oh yeah, this is very kid-friendly. In comes the picture of this nympho, yeah. I saw it. Very excited. Love your videos. I have one question. When are you making more videos on the Chronicles? Coming Monday, Rubbermates. Coming Monday, I'm going to make a continuation on the origin video that I did. The first one we talked about how the universe came to be, the birth of the Titans, the birth of the cosmos and everything. In that one we're going to talk about the ordering of Azeroth, so Titans finding the planets and what went down there to save the Titan spirits. Then the next one is probably going to be next Monday, in which we're going to talk about what exactly happened when the Titans left the planet behind. They let it do its thing, and we got some Titan Keeper stories to tell. And after that, I'm not entirely sure. I'm still thinking Story of Sargeras, but we'll see. We'll see. Howdy, Mr. C. Good evening, matey. Blame Mr. Dreadlord. I did just have my 4-year-old niece on my lap. See? There you go. There you go. Want to see the game for real? Check out... What? Are you promoting other people in my chat, Zizzy? How dare you, good sir. Would your theory of the Titan Spirit being part of every hero in here would be the Titan Azeroth actually keeping them alive? Illidan mentioned that your Demon Hunter is specially infused with a demon when you die. Also, Spirit Healer is Azeroth. Would your theory of the Titan Spirit being part of every hero in here would be that the Titan... Oh, you mean the whole, the resurrection system, yeah? As in, our heroes can't die and we just enter the Spirit Healer. I still think, even though the Spirit Healer does have some small lore here and there, I still think that it's more a game mechanic than actual lore. Because dying and being able to resurrect that easily, if that becomes part of the lore, then you take away a threat in the overall storyline. And that is one of my major, well, not one of my major pet peeves, but that is one of the things that they keep doing with the Warcraft lore. And that is also why I stay away from words like dead, taken care of, and all that. It's anybody and everyone can come back in the Warcraft lore. It's happened many, many times before. And it kind of takes away the danger of it all, right? Like, the only one that truly stayed dead. Like, there have been a few that stayed dead, but more often than not, we see them make a return. So, I don't think that the Titan Spirit infusing us is the explanation as to why we come back with the Spirit Healer. I think that falls more under a game mechanic, as it would be a very short expansion and not a lot of fun if you would have permadeath in something like MMORPG. And Illidan with his Demon Hunter, basically what a Demon Hunter does is when he becomes a Demon Hunter, he eats like the heart of a demon, or he infuses his own body with another spirit of a demon, and by doing so, by absorbing all that power and all that, they become so much of a demon that they now return to the Twisting Nether just like all the other demons do, just like Illidan did. And that is the reason why the Demon Hunter comes back. Kids got hip-hop, they learn fast. A few years earlier than expected. I kind of want to know how they make babies. The Protoss? No. You don't want to know that, nerdy. That goes back to the StarCraft 2 stream that I did, in which we went late night. Never go late night. We need more. What is the stupidest plot twist in any game or movie you've played or watched? Especially one that makes the rest of the game movie worse due to its presence. Any plot twist? Holy shit. Or movie plot twist? I honestly don't have an example for you, Riceborn. Trying to think, do I remember one? I honestly don't have an example. Nope. Would have to think a little bit longer on that one. What do you think will happen with the Pantheon in the future of Warcraft? After Sargeras wrecked them, their spears went to the Titan Keepers. Do you want it to make some sort of return? Or just keep it as it is? Hard to say. Hard to say, because it seems like the Chronicles describes the early days of the lore, right? And in the meantime, we've seen all these events happen with the Titan Keepers, that I was actually very, very surprised to hear that the Titans infuse their Titan Keepers with their spirits, like we never really saw anything about that. So I was surprised about that fact, not to mention that when Ra figured out that there was a Titan Spirit inside of him, he put it in a little cube for safeguarding. He showed it to Lei Shen. Lei Shen then absorbed Ra's power as well as the Titan Spirit. And then we kicked the crap out of Lei Shen. And we had Rephion eat the heart. Does that mean that Rephion now has a Titan Spirit inside of him? Like what? So it's very hard to say where they're trying to take that storyline. Now to your question, would I like to see the Titans make a return? I mean, I would like more messages like Rephion had. I wouldn't say no to that. But the Titans a full-fledged return? I don't think so, because the Titans have been described as such uber-powerful beings, and the only reason why they didn't unleash their full might was to try and save the planet. Like, how do you live up to that, right? Like, Titans are freaking gods, man. So yeah. I only ask serious questions. Will you be updating your videos with the new lore? Will you be doing a whole new video for them? I know more has happened since some of them. It kind of depends. Like, Garrosh's storyline just needs a part 2. Because the previous lore is still there. It just needs additional lore. Whereas a story of Jaina, for example, or a story of Varian, those were some of the earliest videos that I've made. And they definitely need an update. Like, if you compare the storylines and the information in those, it's incomplete, it's wrong, and it needs a desperate update. Question is when I'm gonna do it. Like, Jaina and Varian still have running storylines, not to mention that there are a couple of projects that I'm working on right now. The Chronicles is like a priority. I really want to get the origin story out of the way. Then there is the upcoming Duratan novel, the upcoming Bonds of Brotherhood, there's the Warcraft movie, and then there's more Legion stuff coming up. So I can't say when, but I can say that one day I want to cover every bit of lore that Warcraft has to offer. So it can be guaranteed that either multiple parts are going to be added or updates are going to be done. On a scale of 1 to PogChamp, how excited are you for Legion? I'm gonna say either a high girl or a Kappa. Somewhere in that direction, yeah. Is High Lord Cruel alive, or did Illidan really kill him when he fell blasted his heart as he went through the portal to Outland? I believe High Lord Cruel was actually one of the bosses we could fight during the whole Burning Crusade introduction event. And I think he also showed up afterwards. But I would have to double check Wowpedia. But I think High Lord Cruel actually showed up later as a boss. Or something that we took on. Meant 4 months old. Ah, okay. Well, 4 months old, then they don't really register, thankfully. In some videos, you have these outline thingies that show the different types of races. Dark Trolls, the Night Elves. Where do you get those images? A particular site or just Google? I get those images from, where do I get those? Yeah, Wowpedia. Wowpedia/race origins. That is where you can find these images. I will post them here for you. There you go. So if you want them, I've got them bookmarked. You can find them there. Don't you remember what Hiteshin said? We're all demons when we die. We get to the Twisted Nether, rest right back up, right? His voice is pure pizza. When a demon dies, does it return to a certain part of the Twisted Nether or just the Twisted Nether? I like to believe that, like, if you have ever watched Dragon Ball Z and you remember those recuperation chambers, I like to believe that something like that exists for demons. But the Twisted Nether, I would just say the Twisted Nether in general. Right, I'm gonna do a quick lightning round, everybody, and then we're gonna end the end of the month subscriber Q&A. Hang on. Ashspring exploding around, you have no shadow. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Do you think Jaina are mad at Illidan blowing up her homeworld? Absolutely. Although I would still say that he didn't. Unless Mal'Ganis just returned to a wrecked planet. If you remember Mal'Ganis during the Wrath Lich King questline, he was like, I'm going home now. And we're like, bye. If it become a god or something mundane, what would you choose? God, thank you. I'll become a god. What is your favorite anime? Mine is SpongeBob SquarePants. Pokemon. Hold on, blah blah blah. Pedaling, what about the shovel? Late night streams, best streams, skips around Lunar, of course, blah blah blah, blah blah blah. How powerful are the Naru in comparison to the Legion? Pretty powerful. Didn't you leave your shovel at Alex's Lunar when you buried him? I wish you did a chat. No, Dreddy, 80%. Hey girl, what did you do, Noble? Did Lunar get you? Oh my god, he said, enjoy the stream. Curious though, is the video Shadowhunter 2nd Guild Event your very first video? Or just the oldest one you have posted? It is the oldest one still remaining, Kinigosa. I had to remove a whole bunch of videos because my early videos had a whole bunch of copyrighted music. And I was just tired of having a full list of copyrighted videos, so I had to remove them. So those are not the oldest ones that I made. But they're up there. Like, I think that was like Burning Crusade time that I made those videos. So they're there. And I'm happy that you're enjoying the stream. Would you... I'm gonna make this one my last one. Would you think that showing visions of the Black Empire would be a good opportunity to give more lore on the old gods and the Karaji? As in some sort of questline in the upcoming patch or expansion? I know that the Chronicles tells a lot, but anyway. I would love that, Dr. Lulla. I would love to see something Caverns of Time. I would love to see something in a cinematic form or something in a teleportation form, scenario form, to go back to those olden days. Like, when you read the Chronicles, it makes for such a good setup for a Warcraft 4 or for a WoW expansion or for, you know... Imagine those early days where the Elemental Lords were waging war with each other, the Old Gods plummet down, and you need to lead a campaign against them, and then you lose, you become part of the Old God army, and then you need to work for the Old Gods, and then the Titans come down and you fight the Keepers. If you read the Chronicles, it just reads as a very epic potential expansion or game, which I really, really love. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all very much. The hour flew by. So ladies and gentlemen of the chat room, thank you very much for joining me here today. And ladies and gentlemen on the YouTube as well. This was the end of the month subscriber Q&A, in which I take an hour out to stream, answer some questions from the subscribers, and that is what we just did. I'm not done with the stream just yet. I will be continuing streaming. I'm just going to take a minor break before we do. As always, ladies and gentlemen, if you have more questions and I didn't catch them, feel free to send a PM on Facebook and I'll get back to you whenever I can. And until next time, guys. See ya!